Then to our late fees here, we're just going to keep that at the same amount because, that's just our trend for sewer. Water kind of goes up and down more than sewer does because sewer is just a very flat number. So we can keep the late fees as they are, I think, unless you guys say something different.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then our interest and penalties, again, we kept the same. That is just our bank fees and income and stuff like that. So interest on our bank accounts. And then our miscellaneous income, that is things like Kootenai Electric will pay us dividends because they're a co-op. So every now and then they give us a dividends payment. And Idaho State Insurance sends us a check every year for that. So they're almost always the same. So I kept both of those.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So that's it for our sewer income. Do we have any questions or comments or anything before we move on to the expense side?
No, we're good.
Okay. So moving on down, our auto expenses. Let's see here. Oh, assessments, that's for water. So we'll come back to that. But our vehicle expenses here, it's a 50-50 split. All of our reports are based off of a 10-month thing because, as we all know, we're not done with our fiscal year yet. So then there's the hand calculation of 2 more months on an average of about $169 per month times 2. So I added that in. So this was about the projection. My thoughts, do we want, to increase or anything for any special travels? I mean, Bob, I think anything that you're going to do training wise, that's all under your company. So yeah. So, I mean, this is just our pulse on Bob's traveling and my traveling. I don't think it will go up or down. So I felt pretty comfortable banking on that number. And
let me throw one in there for you though, Jesse, and that is because of our land application site this year and trying to seal the irrigation pond, we've never opened up this season, so we didn't have to take in our weekly tests. So that there may be, I would say, probably look back to the previous year as more reflective of what would be true because that's quite a bit.
Yeah, our previous year was actually lower. So this is our previous year up here, and which we'll see that calculation on all of my reports that I do. Right. But yeah, so that was last year. This is this year.
Okay. Let's go with it then. Let's see what we can do.
Wait a minute, Jesse. Is it actual or did you add a percentage? I missed that.
It's basically actual. It's the 10 months actual number right here. And then I just took a hand calculation, an average of it. So I took this number here, divided it by 10 months, which we're reporting on.
Right, I understand all that, but you didn't add any increase for the budget. Did you add a percentage over this plus 2 months?
I did not.
Well, the only thing I kind of wonder about is, Bob, if we should be doing something, with our loan and getting something going before the end of this budget period, which might require some more running around. I don't know. That's the only thought I have.
Yeah. I know, like, for instance, right now, if you're talking about the loan, again, if I'm talking out of place, we can save it to later, but we were already in the process of installing the new automatic transfer switch at well 7, which DEQ will reimburse. So, but it isn't requiring a whole lot of running around on my part for this because we got the vendors doing the work.
Let's just add 10% to it, Jesse. Add $200.
Okay, so that'll be a split.
And you have to remember too, if we change to the credit union up here, if that goes through, then Jesse won't need to be traveling in town.
True. Okay. So yeah, and it's no surprise I'm a big fan of understating income and overinflating expenses.
Yeah.
Last thing we want is to pull reports and panic ourselves because we think we're overspending or whatever. So it's always good to understate our income and overstate our expenses. So we increased that by 200. That's 100 for each section.
Got it. Yep.
Okay, are we good with our auto expense now then?
Yep.
Okay. So next is going to be our bank fees. This is where we were last year. This is we're on a 10-month calculation. We are spending it's $12 a month to have our little deposit machine here in the office. It is having some problems, which is why I'm traveling so much, but also I have to make a physical deposit for our LID accounts and things like that. But this is about where our bank fees are. So I just...
Jesse, do you have an idea if, because I know now you can't take payments on a credit card in the office, right? Or online.
Correct.
Were we going to look into possibly doing that?
So this has been discussed a bunch of times. And Bob and I don't, Bob, you have more clients than I do. Do any of your clients do credit or debit cards?
No, but I know City of Athol is doing credit card, but what they do as a government entity, you can, and the state of Idaho does this too, you can tack on 2 or 3% to cover the costs.
No, we cannot.
Accept debt. So
legally,
we can do that if you can tack on 2 or 3%, and
we legally cannot do that. We are a governmental agency. So the way that Athol gets around that is, so Lori and I regularly go to the annual ICC TFOA training, and that stands for Idaho City Clerks, Treasurers, and Financial Officers Association. So when we go to that training, there's this company called Access Idaho. So if we ourselves as a water and sewer district get a credit or debit card service here in the office, we cannot charge our customers for that. We can increase fees to compensate for it, but that's one of the reasons why none of the water and sewer districts I work for have decided to incur the costs of having a debit or credit card machine. It's a way to keep costs low for customers. And so if we have it and somebody comes in and they say, oh, I want to pay with my credit card, I can't say, oh, well, that's going to be another $2 and we can't take that income. That's illegal for us. But this Access Idaho company, they can charge the money, and so then they get it. But so that's something that we could look into. We could try to see if we want to contract with Access Idaho.
But then we have to pay them, right, Jesse?
Correct.
Yeah.
So ultimately, it ends up costing. Plus, then we have to increase our liability insurance with our insurance company because we open ourselves up for being hacked or things like that, which is why I would definitely say no to online payments because it increases our insurance by so much.
With the liability.
I just asked the question, but I'd like to look into that and find out how much it actually is going to cost because I don't know. I think we.
That's good. I think we should, but for this year's budgeting purposes, I just leave it the same. But yeah, that's good. That's good. We should look into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Putting a note down to look into Access Idaho credit card payments. So, okay. Okay, so anyway, for bank fees, I'm just keeping it status quo. That's the same as it is every year.
Right.
So, or a little bit lower. So, capital additions, that's a number that we're going to back into if we have any surplus after we put money into our sewer and payroll and our engineering. Those are some pretty big items that are going to be a lot of discussion. Then we put, if we have any extra, then we go ahead and we put it in capital additions. So we'll come back to that.
Yep.
Contract labor. So contract labor for us is snow plowing and lawn care. Victor Adams is the guy I got the card from, Ted.
Okay.
Yep, he does a great job. I really like his attention to detail. I think the lawn looks great. What he did with the field, it looks amazing. He is a little pricey, but he does a great job. So for mowing, it's $45 each time he mows. Weed eating is $25. So I have him right now coming every other week to mow, and then weed eating one time a month.
Okay.
So that's about $115 a month for 2 mows and 1 weed eat. So during our summer months, that's about 5 months of his service. So we're looking at about $575 for his service every year. So that's his service, $575. Snow plowing is about $530. We all know that can go up or down with our wonderful winters. Who knows what's going on? And then one time a year for field mowing, I projected about $1,230 for what we will be spending next year for that.
Okay.
So, and
I
then,
don't have any problem with that. So it's like $615 on each side, right?
yep, $615 for each side. So,
That's good. That's good.
okay, director fees, that's a static amount. It's, $50 a month, 5 board members, 12 times a year. So we're at the $1,500 there.
Okay.
Dues and subscriptions. So let's just our director's fee workout. And then keep going. Dues and subscriptions. So our dues and subscriptions are QuickBooks, Bayview Chamber of Commerce, Creative Technologies, that is El Dorado, so we pay an annual subscription to them. Also, we have a membership to Idaho Rural Water Association, and then just our monthly subscriptions. Oh, and now Zoom, they've
Right.
increased that. So Zoom is $14 a month. How long do we want to budget this item? Do we just want to keep it throughout the year or what?
Yes.
Right now, let's keep it for the year, Jesse.
Yep.
Okay. So I had us at about 1871 there.
What's the creative technology? What is that for?
Creative Technology is the company our El Dorado billing software.
Yeah.
Creative Technologies hosts it.
Yeah.
Creative Technology is El Dorado.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I have about 1871, and then split. We're looking at 936 between.
Well, if we do the GIS, we're going to have to pay for a seat for that.
True.
That's right. That's right.
Say that was like $2,500 a year or something like that.
Yes, I think that's what he said.
So we need to account for that.
Yep.
Okay. We have a meeting with Innovate next week. Actually, I'm just going to get an email out to them and ask what that figure is again. Ask Innovate for GIS hosting cost. Okay. So that could go up.
That's director's fees.
Okay.
Okay. Liability insurance.
Liability insurance.
I think we just need to make that assumption. Everybody knows it always goes up.
So So last year was a 7.5 increase, but the year before that was a 20% increase.
Yeah.
So I just did it at a 10% increase, kind of.
I think that's good. 10% is good.
Okay. So that would put us at 8,482. And then obviously split, half of that would be 4,241.
Yep.
That number?
Yep, that's a good number.
Okay. Then we're going to come back to sewer maintenance because these are some big ticket items that are going to require a lot of discussion, and I'm just going to get through the routine things real quick.
That's a good idea.
Office maintenance. Office maintenance is our janitorial service, and then this year it was having our weed eater serviced. We got the mower taken care of because the teenage boy had kind of done a number on our things, but he was learning. He was a good guy. And then I bought some landscape fabric. We repaired our sprinkler service and did some backflow testing, and then weed killer and stuff for the handicap ramp, which I really need a hand. I need, like, Bob, if I could get one of your boys for a couple hours or something to get this handicap ramp. I just need to pull out all the weeds, douse it with weed killer, and put landscape fabric down so that our handicap ramp isn't a nightmare. But yeah, I need help.
Okay, we need help. Just ask.
Okay. So just ask, I guess, one of your boys if they have some time, and because once we can get that taken care of, then I don't need to worry about it anymore. But it looks